with his back to the officers and unable to hear the commands. John is kicked twice in the side by a third officer.
Put your hands behind your back! Put your hands behind your back! Put your hands behind your back! Hands behind your back! Do it now!
This video out of Florida is absolutely terrifying, and we have to warn you, this footage is disturbing. It all went down in Panama City, where a school board meeting was taking place. It appears to be a routine meeting when a man who had been sitting in the crowd heads towards the front of the room with a can of spray paint and a gun.
Everybody in this room. Behind that counter is the road.
The man points the gun at the board as people in the crowd run out, and the man singles out others to leave. People file out as the gunman approaches the board.
John, just let him talk. He's talking. John, go ahead.
And as he stands there, a female board member who had just left rushes back in and hits the gunman with a purse. She's not effective, and she falls to the ground. The gunman then begins to explain to the board that his wife had been fired.
Our benefits have run out. We're broke. You see what I'm saying?
Please explain to us, sir. Please explain to us.
The board pleads with the gunman for their safety.
Look here. I'm a good guy. I've got a lot with my wife and family. I don't need to die. In the school board here, we just try to do what's best for children.
As they struggle to figure out exactly who his wife is.
Please, just talk to us. If I can help you get your wife a job somewhere else, I'll be glad to do that.
What did she do? I mean, because I really don't know who you're talking about, to be very honest with you. I have no idea who you're talking about.
She was fired.
I believe that when she said that, but what did she do? Tell me what your wife did.
I'm gonna die.
Tell me what your wife did. If you're gonna kill yourself or kill us or whatever, at least let us know what's going on. Because I'll be very honest with you. I swear, I don't know who your wife is or what she did. I don't. I don't want to die like anybody else does.
I had a high school diploma and I was a stay-at-home mom for 10 years. And now I have a job at Dell. I ended up with 4 jobs.
I'm just asking, what did she do? Was she a teacher? Was she a paraprofessional? Did she work in the classroom? Did she work in the cafeteria? Was she a bus driver? I don't know.
A board member explains that he's the one who ultimately signed the paperwork for the gunman's wife's dismissal.
Listen, I'm the one that signed the paper, right? Okay. I don't remember and I don't know who she is. But let them go. I'm the one that did it. I mean, they don't sign the papers. I'm the only one that signs them. Will you let them go? I mean, but you're obviously upset at me. So why are they here? Part of what?
They go back and forth for a bit.
Here's what I don't want to happen. I don't want anybody to, just listen to me for a minute. I don't want anybody to get hurt. And I've got a feeling that what you want is the cops come in and kill you because you're mad. Because you said you're going to die anyway.
And that's when things take a sharp turn. Again, this might be hard to watch. The gunman points his weapon at the board.
Please don't. Please don't. Please.
I'm going to.
And begins firing shots. Right then, a security guard strikes the gunman with a bullet, and after getting off more shots, the gunman ultimately turns the gun on himself. Police said the gunman got off 14 rounds, and miraculously, every single one missed. The gunman was apparently an ex-con who had been jailed for stalking his first wife with a rifle and shooting out her tires. On his Facebook page, his profile photo was the same thing he spray painted at the board meeting, a logo from the movie V for Vendetta, and his bio read that, "Some people, the government-sponsored media, will say I was evil, a monster, V. No. I was just born poor in a country where the wealthy manipulate, use, and economically enslave 95% of the population." His attorney had claimed that the man had a mood disorder, and after this all went down, his second wife, the one who lost her job as a teacher, described him as a misunderstood, gentle giant. This all went down back in 2010, and as an odd addendum, the purse the woman hit the gunman with wound up on eBay for charity and sold for $26,200.
On May 25th of 2019, John Kelly and his wife had a disagreement and were communicating via sign language on the side of a road. Someone who saw John and his wife signing to each other mistook their communication and called 911 to report a possible physical disturbance. Soon after, 3 officers of the San Marcos Police Department approached John from the sides and behind, yelling for him to stop, before 2 officers tase him in front of his wife and several of their children. With his back to the officers and unable to hear the commands, John is kicked twice in the side by a 3rd officer.
Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Hands behind your back. Do it now. Okay. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back, sir. Alright, grab his hand. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Roll over. Grab his hand. Just get on your stomach. Turn around. Just have him stand up. I think he's cooperative. Let me see your hands. 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 Let me see your hands. I think he's gonna cooperate. Let's just get him up. Come here. Come here. Hey. He's not being compliant. Look at me. Hey. Look at me. Sit.
John attempts to tell the officers that he is deaf, and eventually one figures it out and hands him a notepad and a pen.
Frank 5 we have EMS in your way. Hold it. Give me your name.
John was never handcuffed and was not charged. After the officers confirmed that no physical assault took place, he was released from the scene after being treated by paramedics, after which he would later go to the hospital for treatment of injuries resulting from the incident. The 3 officers involved wrote in their incident narratives that Kelly had tucked his hands under his torso, but the footage shows John with his hands up by his head both times that he is on his stomach, which appears as though he is bracing himself for another kick to his ribs. John says he was trying to gesture to the police and show them with his hands that he wanted to write, to communicate. A federal lawsuit filed in May of 2021 accuses the city of San Marcos and the 3 officers of violating Kelly's civil rights in the Americans with Disabilities Act. The suit claims that, quote, no attempt was made by police to communicate with John in a manner in which he could understand, despite him signing that he was deaf. No extra steps or precautions were taken by SMPD before they deployed a taser and kicked John. This case is scheduled to go to trial in September of 2023. All 3 officers remain employed by SMPD and have all completed a 4-hour course on interacting with drivers who are deaf or hard of hearing. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Was this force necessary to take John to the ground? Should tasers be an acceptable use of force for someone who is simply walking away, especially when there is no evidence of a crime other than a phone?
So you mean to tell me these police officers couldn't comprehend or see someone right with this guy? Like, come on now, he up here hand gesturing, barely saying anything. That should make you slow down and understand his body language more. And that's just sad that he had to go through all that over a misunderstanding. And just to think about it, it was a moment where somebody did good by saying something, but it also made his situation, you know what I'm saying? How can I say this? I'm just gonna say it made his situation a little difficult.